So in the last previous session, we were seeing the last scale type, that is the ratio scale. In the ratio scale, we can use it for the data we can use for all statistical technique can be used. Here multiplication, division is possible because here we have taken the absolute zero. Okay, so this is the benefit of zero ratio scale. So if the nature of variable permits this ratio scale, okay, then we should use the ratio scales because it gives the most precise description of the data. As far as possible, we can go for ratio scale. Okay. Like researcher in the physical sciences have advantage to describe the variable in the ratio scale, but behavioral sciences will have the limited to describe the variable in the interval scale. So as I mentioned, science and engineering can use this ratio scale better, but not the behavioral sciences. They will go for interval scale. Okay. Now we'll move to the construction of the scales. What are the techniques, different techniques, and that we'll see. There are five approaches to create the scale. First is arbitrary approach, then consensus approach, item analysis approach, cumulative scales approach, factor scale approach. So there are the five approaches. Okay. So we'll see one by one. First approach is arbitrary approach. In this approach, the name itself suggests that we arbitrarily create the scale, and that is develop an ad hoc or temporary basis. So this is the most widely used approach. But I would say here, the scale in engineering and sciences are very much fixed, and they cannot use arbitrary approach. But psychology, social sciences, there they can use the arbitrary scale because they have not all have the properly set standard. Okay, scale standard. So they will use this. So name suggests that it is arbitrary taken. It is a approach which is developed on ad hoc basis, and it is widely used in the social sciences. It is presumed that scale measure the concept for which they have designed. Okay, it is assumed that the scale measures the particular concept. Okay, and there is no basis for this. Okay, they just create this arbitrary scale. Okay, this is the first scale. Then comes consensus approach. So here we create a series of statements for developing the scale for respondent in the cumulative scale. Okay. So we'll see the example how to create this consensus approach. So a series of statements we create, and we take the responses for the statement and then build the scale. Okay. Like for example, after the school shootings, here shooting means gun shootings across the United States, should the law be designed for staff and administration to carry the gun to the school? So they created questionnaires on a very problematic situation in the United States. There happens someone comes with a gun and he will do the firing, abrupt firing. So they develop some questionnaire. So their purpose was to answer the question after the school gun shootings across the United States. Should be law be created to permit staff in the school to have to carry guns to the school? So first we have to creating the scale. What we have to do is we have to first uh, make the series of statements related to this. Okay. So let us make the statement first. First statement is there should be prohibition. Okay. Why peoples are using the gun in United States? Because it is easily available. Like in India, we need to have license. Okay, to purchase the weapon, some reason to bear the weapon. So we cannot easily bear the weapon like gun. Okay, so we need the license. But in United States, it is very easy for the person to bear the gun. So first uh, statement will put for as a questionnaire that so I made the statement like I support the prohibition of sales of gun bump stocks. Okay. And then second statement is not in I support not any regulation on gun sales to the civilian population. Okay. I not support any regulation on gun sales to the means it should not be easily sold to the common people. That is the second statement. Third statement is uh, not at all. I support that prohibition of gun sales to the civilian altogether. Okay, no one should able to purchase the gun. Okay, this is third statement. Fourth statement is stricter background check during the process of gun sales. So his or background must be checked before sale of the gun. And fourth one in the questionnaire is prohibiting gun sales to the mentally ill person. Okay. So maybe in the US there is no present, we can say regulations that check the mental health of the person who is purchasing the gun. These are the questionnaire created for respondent. Now what we have to do is we have to send to respondent and then create the scale. Okay. Then create the scale. Like for this question, they got this following answers. For respondent 5, who said yes for all the statement. Okay. What is the fifth statement? Suppose the person, respondent 5 is saying yes to all. What is the meaning of this? Okay. So yes to all means what? He's saying everything is correct. Okay. For all. That there should be provision of sales of gun bomb stocks. Then regulation on the gun sales to the civilian population, gun sales to the civilians altogether, strict background check, then preventing the gun sense to mentally. So he says all is correct. Okay. Then you see the respondent 10, he says all four statement correct. But fifth statement, what is the fifth statement? Then prohibiting gun sales to mentally ill person. Okay. So he is not accepting this. Okay. Now go to the 15. Respondent, he says all to statement 1, 2, 3. Okay. Statement 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I support the prohibition of sales of gun bump stocks. I not support any regulation on gun sales to the civil population. Then I support the prohibition of gun sales to civilian altogether. So he said only yes to this, and he says that no need to check the background, no need to means no need to prevent the mentally ill person from selecting the purchasing the gun. Okay. So based on this responses, we need to create uh, the scale, and then once the scale is made, you can send again for the your measurement. Okay. But before going for measurement, you have to create the scale. Okay. So this will continue in the next lecture. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.